So this weekend, what do we have going on? 3 events. That's right, 3 events going on at the same time. We've got the Mountain Mafia End of Summer Bash with the qualifier for Mountain Havoc 2019, where they're going to give away 2 more spots, potentially 3, to competitors to get into Mountain Havoc next year. The second event is the Moses Lake Sand Scorpions Bounty Hole, where they're giving away $2,500 to the first place competitor that makes it the furthest in the bounty hole, or maybe all the way across. This is still an undefeated bounty hole. No one's made it to the other side in a full clean run within the boundaries, but we're going to see what happens this year and see who takes the $2,500. And lastly, on Sunday, we've got the Stateline Speedway Mud Races with the Northwest Mud Racers Association. For some racers like Don Grant, this is the second day of racing. We've got competitors like Chris Shue, James Smith, Jim Smith, Shane Mayfield, Jacob Weston, Kyle Mortimer, and many others out here to try to win at the NMRA races. But I don't even know how I'm going to get to all 3 of these events in my current situation and where I'm at right now. So, I'm getting pulled by a U-Haul, escorted by an officer across a 1-lane bridge going back into Washington. Heck of a way to end a trip, but it's all part of my life. My name is Alan, and I have an addiction. But drugs or alcohol have no part in my life. I've never smoked anything, never chewed tobacco, never drank a beer, though that doesn't stop me from having friends that do. Safety, respect, and responsibility doesn't mean that you can't have fun. We live in the inland Northwest, a land of mud, rocks, and mountains. In my world, Larry is the delivery guy, and Jeremiah is the cable guy. We're a big group of people of all different types that share a common interest, and for the most part, all get along. It's like one big happy and slightly dysfunctional family. Regardless, I'm honored to share my journey with all of these people I call friends, and I want to share their stories with you. This is my life of big trucks and low bucks. So I was on my way back from Southern Oregon, and I bought this parts truck that I had on my trailer towing behind me when Stacked, the truck I was driving, stalled out right in the middle of the Umatilla Bridge. A big thanks to this U-Haul truck driver that gave me a tow off to the side of the road off the bridge. Now I'm going to stay the night here with 2 dead trucks and try to figure out how to get home. But back in Oregon, others are getting ready for this weekend's events.
Hey, I'm Brett Harrell, Team Change Order. We're at my shop here in Elmsville, Oregon. It's full of buggies right now. We've got the diesel buggy here, change order buggy. We've got Havoc over there, Resurrected over in the corner. Everything's in pieces. We're going to be getting it back together, and we're going to be hitting the fall qualifier up in Bonners Ferry this coming weekend. We've got some stuff to fix on the diesel buggy, and me and Jerry will be making that trip to get him to go claim his spot.
Working out with these guys in the buggies, and we've been putting together a bunch. We've been working on everybody's buggies and getting it all together, trying to get things together.
Sunday's race, we made it to the second canyon log slide. I hit the log slide a little too aggressively and ended up in the hole behind it nose first and bent the lower link, which took out the brake caliper, which is why I ended up having to stop. Power glide held up wonderfully. I beat on it all weekend with no mercy, so super happy with that. We'll fix this and go to Havoc and try to get my spot there at the qualifier.
Well, it looks like Team Change Order's got their hands full here, working on all the buggies, especially trying to redo and fix the diesel buggy in time for this weekend's event. They're not the only ones coming up, though. I mean, they're representing Oregon, but we've also got some Canadians coming down to compete this weekend for a Havoc spot. But we'll let Brett and the guys here get back to work, which sometimes is not just on the buggies. And we'll see them this weekend up in North Idaho. Towed. The second half of me is getting towed. Alright. Unhook this, dropping it off at a storage yard, trying to find my way home. Now I gotta run over to the other truck that's over here that Steven towed for me. Grab some stuff out of it, and then find a way back to Spokane with the other truck. So Steven's storing Stacked at his house for now, and I hung out with my relatives Alfredo and Andrea at their house for a few hours, and Sean Weisner drove down from Spokane in his truck to pick me up, and we're hooking on to my trailer and the parts truck, and he's giving me a ride back to Spokane. Thanks, Sean. Well, after Sean dropped me off at the place in Spokane where I had the C4, I hooked onto the trailer so I can tow this truck the rest of the way up to my place, drop it off, and head to Bonners Ferry, Idaho for the Mountain Mafia Summer's End Bash. But it's not just the competitors for Havoc and Mountain Mafia's Summer End Bash that are getting ready for this weekend. We've got all these mud boggers getting ready for the Moses Lake Sand Scorpions $2,500 bounty hole, sponsored by Experience Power Sports. It looks like we've got quite a few different rigs, different types of trucks showing up.
Alright, I'm Rich Archer. We're down here at Moses Lake. We're enjoying the 2018 bounty hole sponsored by Experience Power Sports. Appreciate everybody coming out.
So that means coming up here Saturday, we're going to find out who's going to win that 2,500 bucks? Is it going to be one of the biggest trucks, biggest tires? Is it going to be one of the lightweight, high horsepower rigs? Or is it going to be a combination of horsepower and size? We'll find out. So I finally made it back home, well, at least to this home, to drop off the 74 GMC that I bought last week, get it off the trailer. Then I've got to head to North Idaho, but first I got to get this parts Firebird off of this trailer, not from this truck, so that this trailer is freed up for Devin to take to use to tow demo cars to the fair this weekend. So I got the truck unloaded off the trailer, I got the transmission unloaded that was on this trailer, and that trailer is unloaded and unhooked, ready for Devin to pick up, so I can now head out. Of course, I've got to pick up, maybe find those wheels, hood, door. Devin's got the trailer to use for the fair, for the demo derby. I got my trailer emptied and I'm ready to head over to the Mountain Mafia at Summer's End Bash.
You actually made it off the side of the road?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Am I on some sort of a list here?
Oh, can't even talk about lists.
So we're here at the Purcell Trench Ranch with the Mountain Mafia and the A-Team. The A-Team's been here all year. And I'm gonna leave the camera here for Teresa to film tomorrow while I head off to Moses Lake to film the bounty hole. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do is get a burger. Not everyone's here to try to win a Havoc spot. The ranch is also open for open wheeling all weekend, and also a poker run and a few other things. So are you ready to have fun this week?
I am ready to tear it up and have a good time.
And while the fun is just beginning here, I've got another mission. I'm on my way now in Naples, Idaho, to pick up a red Chevy flatbed pickup that I got from Adam. I'm pretty sure I just did some like wrong turn type stuff here. Went up some guy's driveway. Had to turn around in his driveway and get the heck out of there. Now I'm up the wrong road apparently, so I gotta turn around again. So now I gotta turn around. At least I'm on the right road.
Make a U-turn.
The right road. GPS is trying to tell me to turn around and go somewhere else. Really hope I'm on the right road this time. Okay, he did say right after the old abandoned motorhome, so I think I'm on the right track now. Oh crap. Supposed to go up that? Well, I did find the right place, but now we got to get the truck on the trailer and, of course, dead batteries. I had this thing charging all last night. Luckily, Adam's got a big come-along to help. Oh. I can't even spool the winch out because the solenoid just... So I got the truck loaded up, and I'm headed back to Spokane for the night. Well, what's left of the morning. And I'm going to switch trucks in town, take a quick nap, and head to Moses Lake for the Sand Scorpions bounty hole. Well, it's bright and early in Bonners Ferry, Idaho, at the Mountain Mafia's Purcell Trench Ranch. And they're going to start off with a few mud drags. Next, the competitors trying to get into Havoc are going to do the tire toe.
Find the cars, put the prices. Trying to get the fastest time you can, hold that tire.
Moving on next from the max tire toe test is the Amsoil Hill and Hole. First up, we've got Greg Torrey and Barely Legal. And next on the Hill and Hole course is Josh Hall, one of the Axle Busters. Now it's time for Jerry Stevens to test out all those repairs they did to the diesel buggy. Looks like everything's holding up and Jerry's a happy guy. And next up is Richie and Pork Chop to tackle the Hill and Hole. I want to give a shout out to Team Change Order, Brett and Mandy Harrell for the camera and the hat. I'm getting a late start here in Spokane Saturday morning trying to leave for the bounty hole. Of course, another dead battery. So I've got to sort this out. Wow. Okay then. The interesting things you find when you just recently bought a truck from the previous owner. I had to sell this transfer case now. Now that I sold the transfer case, I have the money for this trip. I just realized that exactly 3 years ago on my trip to the same event, I was driving the exact same year Dodge and my transfer case split in half. And I just sold my spare transfer case that I had. What could possibly go wrong? While I'm finally on the road for the bounty hole, Rob Inglis is now tackling the Hill and Hole course at Mountain Mafia Entertainment.
Old shredded lettuce. Looks like he just shredded a axle knuckle. Wow, faster than pork chop. And on the victory lap, he sent it a little too hard.
Broke the hub right off the knuckle. The hub's good, your knuckle's good. You just pulled all your bolts out of your knuckle, Rob. It doesn't look that bad.
Doesn't look that bad. 3 wheels, good.
The knuckle's okay, man. I just stripped all the bolts off. I think the hub just pulled out right off the knuckle.
Oh, I knew this guy that did that once. The Top Truck Challenge. It was me. Cool, well, we can get you back going then.
Yeah.
Okay. He might be down, but he's not out. Strip the studs on the spindle. We're going to get it fixed up. We're going to take a little break before we hit this Mountain Man course. Plenty of time left of the day. Go enjoy yourselves, get some food, check out some Mountain Mafia gear, check out our promo wheels we've got playing over there.
Rob.
Up here.
I'm still on the road driving across Washington, but Orville is already there at the Bounty Hole location with the Sand Scorpions and Brandon Duggins. Some of the big trucks and our entries for today for the Bounty Hole are rolling in.
And all it is it pumps 100 horse of knots in there to cool the supercharger.
But now just about everyone is here, and it's almost time to get started.
Stuck. Right, you gotta just floor it.
So you've got more power this year.
Yeah, hey, I'm still just over 200 horse.
Just over 200.
Full 4 Lincoln coilovers, 6-liter LS. Same tranny, same transfer case, pretty much all same bits and pieces. Phytech Ultimate LS engine management system.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Justin is one of the locals here. He's normally the flagger, but he drew the lucky number 1. So he's up first. Let's see how he does in Frankenbomb.
First time out since last time.
There.
Well, we call this the Jeep thing. We got about, some on paper, she shows about 700 horse on the motor and a 300 horse shot of nitrous. 454 big block Chevy.
So how many times have you had it out this year?
Let's see, I've had it out maybe, as far as passes go, I maybe have 10 passes on it so far.
This year?
This year.
That's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's performed pretty good, but we've had electrical issues, anywhere from that to broken pieces and parts. So.
And you got a windshield and a roof, so.
We got a windshield now, and we got a roof, and we got a coolant bottle to catch our antifreeze when we overheat instead of blowing it in the back of our heads.
He's out there smoking in the mud hole. What's with that? He pitches his stick out there. Dang it, huh? I swear this hole gets worse and worse every year.
Well, that's never a good sign. Let's talk with Shad here and see what he thinks happened. What do you think happened?
Well, I had my timing off to begin with, so I turned that down in the middle of the pit as I was going, and it did better. And I think we may have hurt a couple pistons. Not sure yet until we get home to the compression test.
We're gonna make a nitrous pass.
She doesn't run the nitrous?
She hasn't yet. She's a little nervous about the nitrous. I think she's more scared of the possibility of it creating a catastrophe than the power that it makes. So.
Yeah, things can go wrong.
Absolutely.
Hurry with that.
Yeah, in a quickness. And we haven't even used the nitrous on this motor since I put it back in this truck. So, see what happens. Today will be the first time we spray. So, we're gonna try to spin them about 65 miles an hour. See what happens.
Let's see how Don Grant in the Mistress does with the 557 Big Block.
Okay, so it looks like we're 928, 953.
I mean, as soon as it sank, it wasn't going anymore.
No. Well, as soon as you hit that spot, that mud grabbed your tires and slowed everything down real quick.
Technical difficulties.
No, it was idling.
It looks like Don might be sitting there a while until they get the tractor figured out.
Oh, dude. There it goes. There it goes. We got it. I think that filter's clogged and it's not keeping up with
Back up in North Idaho at the Purcell Ranch with the Mountain Mafia, they're about ready to give out the awards for the best hands at the poker run.
All right, everyone, thank you guys very much for participating in our poker run this year. We had a great turnout. I hope everyone had fun, supported a good cause. And just to go over, I know I told most of you, but just to let you guys know again, we're Veterans Community Response. We serve combat veterans and their families, basically from Spokane over to Kalispell. We started off doing therapeutic retreats for our combat veterans, and that's expanded to all kinds of stuff. We're busy. We got a lot going on right now. Our big thing I'll tell you guys about is right now we're helping disabled veterans get back into service, and we're deploying veterans to disaster zones to be of service to those communities. So right now we have people in Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and we're sending out a team Wednesday of our local veterans to go down to the Carolinas to help with disaster response down there. So it's a good thing. It helps our veterans get out of their house and get something meaningful going on, and it helps the communities they serve. So it's great programs. I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish. And all this through donations, so things like this where we can raise a little money to keep our programs going. And I hope you guys had fun and also helped us keep doing what we're doing. So
hey, just real quick, thank you to the veterans for being here.
For sure, thank you guys very much, man. Thank you.
So all these guys are veterans that have been through our programs, and now they come out and contribute. Now they run programs, and these are some of the guys that are deploying and doing some of the service things we're doing. All right, so we have 6 winners, the six highest hands, and then the last one to go will be the lowest hand of the day. So we got 6 high hands and 1 low hand. Alright, so Rob L with 4 2s gets the first pick. Next we have Brad H with 2 pairs. Christina Allen with 6s and 4s. Teresa L. She's got a pair of 5s and a pair of 3s. Josh L. with the pair of kings, ace high. Darius Brown. Jimmy B with the pair of 10s, ace high. With the worst hand, we have Kyle New.
It's not really muddy, it's just super dry ground with water on it. It's a little bit slippery, but you guys can make it.
Next, the competitors trying to qualify for Mountain Havoc are going to run a section of the lower Mountain Man course. Jerry Stevens is up first.
Oh God. No, it...
So far, it looks like all the fixes are holding up. We wouldn't expect anything but full throttle from Richie Tremblay and Pork Chop. And out of Zero Drama Racing from Canada is Greg Torrey. Next, we've got Josh Hall. Well, that's it for part 1 of Weekend of Mud 2018. On part 2, we're going to go back to the bounty hole and find out who actually won that $2,500 from the Sand Scorpions bounty hole, and who got left to be stuck in the mud. But not only that, we're also going to go back up to the Purcell Trench Ranch with the Mountain Mafia and find out which of these competitors earned their way into Mountain Havoc 2019. How many spots are going to get given out? We're going to find out. And we're also going to go out to Stateline Speedway, check out the NMRA races, see which of these racers made it through the pit, who broke what, and who came out on top. It's all next on part 2, Weekend of Mud 2018.